She ended up sending me an invite to a party as a show of gratitude for all of my help. Well, that was it, the pity invite, I just remembered. Aaron beams, positively glowing from this development of events. Before I can reply, Aaron continues leaning back in his chair with a proud expression. I know, you don't have to thank me. We're going to have a great time this weekend. Whoa, hang on, weekend? At least I'm assuming Luke shares my view and doesn't really see the appeal of this party. Aaron and I both look over to Luke expectantly, and he merely gives a small shrug. I'm not into parties in general. What is it about visual novels and there are people... Okay, there are two kinds of people in visual novels, which sort of sums up personalities brilliantly, because it sort of branches off from there. Well, this is one of the branches, but details. You have the people who hate going to parties and the people who love going to parties. In visual novels, there's no in-between. There can be no complexity of a character. Well, in these sort of things, there can be no sort of complexity of a character. So you either hate them or love them. There's no one who's just sort of like, alright, yeah, sure, I'll go along, I ain't got much better to do. There's nothing like that. It's just, you know, rule number fucking 235 as to why these characters aren't real characters and bland. There we go. You can go by yourself, Aaron. At that, Aaron almost falls out of his chair and he slip into a pout. No, Val, you can't. I'll be the pathetic loser arriving at a party all alone while everyone there comes with friends or their significant other. I'm not sure people who go to parties actually say significant other, but you know, details. I mean, he seems to be able to make friends pretty goddamn easily. He can't just fucking go by himself. That's too difficult. What am I talking about? He can't, composed. He can't just talk to someone and make friends and go with them instead? It doesn't seem like he has too much for trouble making friends. So why is he whatever. You can't leave me like that, plot, that's why. I can hardly bite back a smile at Aaron's dramatic, horrified speech, you'll live. Aaron's eyes widen comically and he clasps his hands together. No, you can't do that to me. It's going to be my first party. Of course it is. Don't ruin it for me, please. I'm not close enough with anyone, but the two of you invite them to a party like this out of the blue. Please, Val, I'm begging you. This is my one and only chance. Aaron gives me his best attempts at puppy dog eyes, but I have to admit, for a second I almost cave in instantly. Luke? I don't go to parties. I'll just stay in and work on the project a bit more. No, you won't. You're just gonna, I don't know, sit inside and watch series? Go to family gatherings? Hope that your blue crystal around your neck gives you some sort of Dragon Ball Z heroic power? He hesitates before continuing somewhat reluctantly. You're welcome to join me if you like. We probably have to catch up to Aaron's progress anyway. Luke, bro, you can't do that to me. You're supposed to have my back as a bro. You're supposed to be my wingman, my second in command, the cleric to my warrior, and the support to my carry. I don't know, I feel he only knows the reference support to carry. He's going to be lost elsewhere. I can't help but laugh at that, shaking my head at Aaron. Luke just looks baffled by his passionate declaration, which only heightens my amusement. Aaron really is such a nerd. Harsh. Valerie, please, you're my last hope. Fucking... I don't want to stay and work. Are you kidding me? I don't know. When was the last time I went for the guy who's just a complete cunt? Like... I don't like social interaction, and I'm not very good with people. I never go for people like that, but I want to, just in case, I don't know, I might be missing out on something incredible. Beyond just, sorry, I'm not much of a people person, and it's going to be completely on you to wow me. And I'm going to be really boring and uninteresting. Because I think I'm right most of the time. You know, the sort of Luke character, which is normal? Alright, let's shake it up. Let's do something a bit different. I try to imagine going to a noisy party with drunk people and filled with red strings floating everywhere, and I can barely hold back a grimace. I mean, really? How big are these strings supposed to be? I never quite understood that. If you've got, like, a tiny ribbon around your finger that goes to, say, here, how is that going to be a problem? Like, are we living in a world where everyone's a floaty, wobbly arm dude? Everyone walking down the streets going, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, how would that ever be distracting? It's so much like, if you ever see a school and there are lots of children walking by and they're all in the same uniform, does that give you a headache? Seeing so many of the same thing walking by, one by one. Well, I mean, it's not one by one. They're trying not to get, hit by oncoming cars and 3x3s and pushing and shoving. But, you get my drift, right? You're seeing a lot of things which are similar. Strings are so small and they're around your fucking finger. Like, can you really, looking down was the advice given in the last episode. How is that going to make that any better? Like, if anything, that's going to make it worse, because then you're just going to see it as you come by. At least if you look at someone's face, their hand's down here. When was the last time you saw me talk like that? If I did a whole of an episode like this, would you guys think I'm not a bit weird? Probably already do anyway. Details. You know my point? Fucking just look at someone. How often are you genuinely going to look at their fucking hands? Whatever. Old school Tenarium ranting about plot that doesn't make sense. The idea doesn't sound pleasant at all. Maybe I'll try to ask my bosses to let me cover an extra shift or two on the weekends instead. And if they don't have to work for me, perhaps I can join Luke instead. I make a face playfully at Aaron before shaking my head with an apologetic smile. I'm sorry, maybe I should work with Luke on the project this weekend instead. He's right, we are behind on progress, so I need to catch up if I need to pull my weight. The project is important after all. I'll check my schedule later to see if I'm free. Is that alright with you, Luke? Luke's head jerks upwards and he meets my eyes with a clear expression of surprise, but he doesn't protest or speak up to revoke his offer. Did he really expect me to go with Aaron to the party? I mean, yes, you probably should have gone with Aaron to the party. The choice that we've made will make us fucked. Woo, I've come out of school, but I know no one. Great. Next to him, Aaron's head falls onto the table with a thunk and he groans in misery. I can only smile at the top of his head in amusement and apology. No, he's not angry. He's going... Because that's the only way you can show slight annoyance in these things. You'll be fine, Aaron. I'm sure lots of people are going alone too. I really doubt it. Oh well, it's not the end of the world, I suppose. Aaron lets out another long sigh before straightening, still pouting. I suppose we should get back to the project. We've wasted enough time. I'm sorry about that. Right, we should. I need to leave at 5 for work. Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't know you have work right after this. Yes, of course. Let's get back on track. His expression grows solemn, but he turns on his laptop. We should probably pick up where we left off last time. Discuss the division of labor instead. The division of labor. Oh, woo, missing a U. With that, the project final meeting officially happens, but I can't help but notice Luke continually sneaking peeks at me. What does Luke want with me? Who is he, even? Just what exactly does he want to know? Probably nothing. He thinks it's weird that you're going to a party as opposed to, that you're going to a party and then staying with someone who has actively treated you with disdain. Other than that, God knows what it could be. Maybe he fancies you. Just what exactly does he know? I throw myself onto my bed, landing on my stomach, and my eyes almost immediately start to close from pure exhaustion, but I give my head a hard shake, trying to clear my drowsiness. No time for rest. I have to get ready for my shift at the restaurant. Right, got it. So, the music restarts when we go back to the beginning of the scene. Of course it does. I throw myself onto the bed, landing on my stomach. My eyes almost immediately start to close from pure exhaustion, but I give my head a hard shake, trying to clear my drowsiness. Did that really need so much explanation to say, essentially, I am tired? That's what they're trying to get at here. That's a really, really verbose, long sentence for something which should be really nice and simple. Like, congratulations, you're good at creative writing. Well done. Like, you can drag something out. I'm proud. No time for rest. I have to get ready for my shift at the restaurant. Easily one sentence. With a low groan and the willpower of Atlas, I managed to drag myself out of the comfortable warmth of my bed. I turn to grab my belongings, and the flashing of my phone screen catches my attention. It's a text from a co-worker at a restaurant. Are you going with the rest of us to visit the boss's baby tomorrow? Huh? I fire a quick text back asking what she means, and my phone buzzes in my hand a few seconds later with a reply. Did you forget Boss gave birth yesterday, remember? That's why the restaurant is closed today to celebrate. Oh, right! The vague memory of someone texting me about a newborn baby surfaces in my mind. It had happened so late last night that I barely glanced at the text before turning back into bed and falling back to sleep. Okay, I definitely get how you'd forget, but how would you not realize when you're on the way to work? I guess autopilot. My brows furrow. I forgot the restaurant will be closed today, even though the owner isn't required to be here during the business hours anyway. Stupid Chinese tradition. Yeah! Oh, those other countries and their traditions that they've upholded for thousands of years. Bastards! I guess this means I'm free for the rest of the day. Damn, I wanted to do some extra shifts today for some more money. We're not going to go to Asia, I can tell you that much. Torn between relief and disappointment, I once again collapse on my bed. This time I let sleep pull me under. Excuse me? The persistent annoying buzzing sound slowly tears me from my dreams, and I moan groggily, my hand searching for the evil device in question. Prying open one eye, I notice with a start that Aaron is calling me. What does he want? I let out a loud yawn before answering the call, grumbling a greeting. The background noise from his end is so deafening that I instantly pull my phone away from my ear, cringing. Right, he's at his home, but presumably his stereo's going off? I don't know. What the hell, Aaron? Valerie, finally! Aaron, I can barely hear you. What is so noisy? Where in the world are you? Irene's party, remember? Oh, right, he's drunk. I frown, trying to make sense of Aaron's slurred, strangely dragged out words. Aaron, are you drunk? Drunk? Never, I'm not drunk. He gives a loud hiccup, and I can only shake my head in amusement at the phone. Out of interest, who has hiccups when they're drunk? I hear this all the time in visual novels, and I've never actually seen it, which is weird, because I've been around a lot of alcohol. Ugh. Right, of course you aren't. What are you calling me for? He pauses, seemingly needing a moment to recollect his thoughts. I was going to ask if you and Luke wants to come. It's a great party. No, I'll pass. Why don't you ask Luke yourself? Shouldn't he be with you? Hey, Luke, bro, sup? I flinch as Aaron suddenly raises his voice, shouting as though Luke can hear him through my phone. Jesus, Aaron, you're gonna deafen me. Luke's not even Wait. If the party is today, that means I'm supposed to be meeting with Luke for the project today. I thought it was next weekend. A string of curses escape my mouth, and Aaron giggles like a delighted child. What does that word mean? You know, I can't talk now. I'll talk to you later. We're going to hang up on him. Brilliant. Hanging up quickly on Aaron, I immediately dial Luke's number. Hang on a minute! What time of day is the party starting at? A time of the day where we could also go and... Alright, sure, why not? It's a time of the day where we could also go and talk... That we would meet up with someone for a project. So too early for a party. He answers after a few rings, and I start babbling an apology. I'm so sorry, I forgot our meeting today. I swear I'm not usually this scatterbrained. I've just been so tired from all my shifts at work. And Valerie? Yes, right. Hi, it's Valerie. I could have sworn I heard a light chuckle from his end of the phone. It's fine. Breathe. Are you still there in the library? I'll come as soon as possible. Cradling the phone in the crook of my neck, I slide off the bed and start sweeping my laptop and notebook into my bag. Oh. I'm not at the library anymore. I waited for a bit, but when you didn't show, I thought you went to the party with Aaron after all and forgot to let me know. A fresh wave of guilt hit me and I sigh, apologizing again. It's fine. Do you still want to work on the project together? No, but you're going to make me anyway. Yes, of course, unless it's too much trouble for you to come back to the campus, then we can reschedule. I can hear his quiet breathing as he thinks for a long moment before replying. I'm going to be free for another hour or so. If you want, we can work on the project at my place. Otherwise, I'm afraid we'll have to reschedule. I'm sorry, I know this is inconvenient, but I'd really rather not make the trip back to campus because I would have to rush back home after 40 minutes anyway since I have an important call scheduled. An important call scheduled? It's to your grandparents, isn't it? Oh, well, in that case, I'll head to your place right now. What's your address? Luke thanks me and I skittle down the address he gives me before we end the call. It takes a while, but I finally reach Luke's apartment. Luke is the one to answer and he waves me in. For a moment, I can only stand there at the door unsure of what to say. Hi. He seems mildly amused by my awkward greeting. Hello. I'm really sorry about forgetting our meeting. Oh, this is hilarious. What's happened in 15 minutes? Just to give you a scope, Generally, you want a scene in which something happens every either 15 or 20 minutes. Something needs to happen. I need to learn something. We've had... I don't want to go to the party. Boss's work thing? I don't know. Showing that we're forgetful and again stupid. And showing up to a dude's apartment. Ugh. So much is happening! It's difficult to keep up sometimes.